Do you remember the gun fanatic illegal migrant who threatened Nigel Farage?
Englishman, Nigel Farage, don't talk about me. You not know me. I come to England because I want marriage with your sister. Don't talk about me more. I gonna come to England. I gonna mother.
Yes, we warned the Home Office about him. We reported him to the Home Office several times. The police were made aware of him as well, not least because he's been filmed with weapons. Well, can you guess what happened? Well, it looks like he has now come across the channel. And it looked like he might have already got himself sorted in a hotel.
Pastor, come in, live, come in. Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy. I've been speaking with Madapasa on social media, actually, and he says that he wants to come to Britain to start a new life. What is very telling in the reams of stuff that he sent me, he doesn't once ever say anything about needing asylum. Not at all. He's been to Sweden, Germany, France, he's got a gun tattooed on his face, he might have one in his back pocket, and he's here to stay, isn't he? I mean, I've got an idea. OK, let's pick Madapasa up and take him around to Gary Lineker's house. But some breaking news for you in the last few moments. GB News now understands that Madapasa has been detained. Nigel Farage tweeted that he had been sent a statement that confirmed he had been detained by immigration officers. He's currently in secure detention and will be investigated for immigration and criminal offences. He added, I am pleased that this individual has now been detained, but appalled that a migrant who threatened to kill me was escorted into British waters by the French Navy. Well, yeah, fair enough, I think. We are joined now by Nigel Farage. Nigel, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much. So, yeah, some good news then. Madapasa appears to be in a secure detention centre. I'm still unconvinced that we will be able to get rid of him there, Nigel.
How's that good news? How is it good news that somebody who was picked up in Malmo for carrying a knife, somebody who was threatened to kill, an elected British member of Parliament, it's hardly good news that he's been detained. It's bad news he got into the country. It's extraordinary news that somebody as recognisable as that, because of a tattoo that he's got, was even able to board a boat in France, and then for the French Navy to literally escort him to a 12-mile line to meet border force who pick him up and come in and process him. Now, obviously I'm pleased that he's been detained. We'll see what comes of it. But the reason that I highlighted this whole case after he was on the run from Sweden because of the knife offence, and he was TikToking through Germany onto Calais, was I am sick to death of the narrative that we're being given, that those that are crossing the English Channel are, if you listen to the BBC, desperate people. Desperate people. Well, I wouldn't describe this bloke as desperate. No. Desperately bad, perhaps, but not desperate. So I highlighted, and I basically said, look, these are the kinds of people, these are the young men entering Britain. And you know what? Of the over 30,000 that have come this year, if even 1% of them are bad news, just think what the implications of that are for security, for potential terrorism. This guy is photographed with guns. You showed one video, I can show you several others, right? Yeah. He's very, very clear he's going to come and kill me when he gets here, and goodness knows about my sister and all the rest of it. And here he is. He's now in Dover as we speak. He's been detained. Well, thank goodness for that. But what happens next? Because he comes from Afghanistan. Yeah. And we don't deem Afghanistan to be a safe place. So, I mean, let's see where this goes. But I think we should deport someone like this immediately. This guy will be of no value to this country, our communities, our security, our safety, our law and order in any way at all. And I just wonder whether, over the course of the next few months, we will see the true impotence of the British authorities. Yeah, this is it. This is exactly it. Because we're not going to send him back to Afghanistan. So it becomes a question of where on earth do we send him? Well, and we know if we were trying to convince somebody, from some of the other countries to take him. I think this will be, Nigel, one of the most interesting test cases that we'll see, because you've got a guy here who's clearly a wrong un, very, very, very au fait with drugs and guns and indeed knives as well, by the sounds of things. There's another video of him knocking around with some incredibly young-looking girls in Sweden, so, the mind boggles there. And he's threatened to kill you. And if we can't get rid of this guy, then we might as well all pack up and go home. Patrick, I know. I mean, you can cover the case, but it's actually quite personal to me. The Germans recently sent a plane load of illegals back to Afghanistan. They are part of the European Court of Human Rights. If they can do it, why can't we? Secondly, I understand that he was given permanent leave to remain in Sweden, so maybe we could send him back there. But do we have the guts? Do we have the courage? Do we have the judges that will do this? And you get to the root of the problem. It isn't the European Court that's the problem. It's the European Convention that's been written into British law by the Blair government all the way back in 1998 that British judges rely upon. This is going to be an extraordinary and, as you say, fascinating test case of, are we able to protect our country? Are we able to protect our people? I obviously hope that I'm proved wrong. That within the next week he is deported somewhere, whether it's Sweden or Afghanistan, I don't know. But I have a very odd feeling that this rumble on for month after month after month, and it will just display, as I said earlier, the sheer impotence of our country to do anything, all the while we're subjected to the ECHR.
Yeah, indeed, and you know, this directly puts you at risk, and you know, if you're at the mercy of the competence of some of our security services there, then you know, I imagine that could be quite a risky place to be. Nigel, just very quickly, thank you for coming on tonight. I just want to know how were you updated on this? Have you been in touch with the Home Office, with police, etc. yourself? I mean, were you expecting this day to come really and coming across the channel?
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I knew he'd come much earlier in the day. I said on my show at 7 o'clock, can someone please, I mean, you know, sorry, Home Office, I know you're very busy. Would you mind, you know, finding just 2 minutes of your time to tell me whether a potential killer's entered the country? I got a phone call at about 8:15 from a Metropolitan Police officer working with parliamentary security, and good for him and good for them. And the Met have led this. Essex Police and the Met have led this, but I have to say, the fact that he was even able to come into our country and that he's still here, he should have been deported immediately. This guy's no good, and this guy is not just one person.
No.
Large numbers of young people, young men, coming into our country that threaten everything about our security, our safety, our identity. This should be declared a national emergency. Not because of me. I'm just one little example, because of the whole situation.
Yeah, indeed. And just to round us off with it all as well, you know, you made the point there about how, you know, we've tracked this guy because he's filmed himself on TikTok or whatever, going across Europe and everything. So we know about him. We've seen him with guns. We've seen the kind of people he's hanging around with. We've seen him with drugs. We've seen he's not in any way at all ever saying that he needs asylum from anything. He's not. He just wants to come to Britain for a new life. And it's about smashing that narrative, really, around the idea that all of these people are desperate, needy individuals. And if we've decided as a result of what we've seen from our mate Madha Passa here that maybe he's not the kind of person we would like in the country, it begs the question, well, if we did a little bit more of that for some of the others, maybe we decide that as well. But Nigel, thank you very much, and I do wish you all the best. Cheers for making the time for us tonight. So it's Nigel Farage there, of course.